Hello, I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL. We found out on YouTube that I misnumbered the episodes. So while last time I said that that was episode 28, this is actually episode 28. So welcome back to episode 28, which follows up
paradoxes
on episode 28.
Last time we did exactly what we did in episode 28 again, because it's episode 28 once more.
So the real quick pro tip is the party didn't level. The amount of XP that it was assumed would be taking to level is not even close to correct. They're still a ways away.
I'm sorry, what should our XP be?
It's the same that it was last time.
And our next level is 14,000.
Yeah, the problem is that the cap is up. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to get to 14,000. We still have the 1099.
Yeah, because everyone was like, sweet, yeah, our next level. And it's like, okay, what's the level after that? 1499.
Yeah.
Huh, that seems really close.
So yeah. You know, I've been doing these intros for a while. You might notice that for the last 13 weeks, I've basically not really done any anime talk. That's because the only anime on television worth watching was Attack on Titan, which is a fucking masterpiece of storytelling.
What?
Yeah, man. The second half of season 3 literally redefined the entire show.
It's on season 3 now? I've only seen the first season.
Yeah, well, season 2 gets really hype, and season 3 is fucking nuts.
See, I didn't like season 2.
Yeah.
Which one was season 2, did they like?
Season 3 started making it a little bit more hype-ish, but the start of season 3 is the political arc, and the end of season 3 is the, like, lose your fucking shit arc. Season 3 broke a whole bunch of records on watch numbers. All right, So anyway, the good news is that we got Dr. Stone, which is literally like your high school science class.
Hang on. Dr. Stone is by the manga artist whose characters look exactly the same from every single manga he does.
Yes, Bochi. Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, so anyway, every single episode is just everyone being like, how can we overcome this problem? And then Science Dude is like, we can 10 billion% overcome it with high school science chemistry. We're gonna make a fucking radio in the Stone Age. And everyone's like, that's not possible. He's like, I already did it 10 minutes ago. What's up, bitch?
Wait, is his answer like, yo, get me more potatoes?
Yeah. I mean, he literally makes a radio out of some fucking crystals, man.
Oh, God.
We need to power this shit. Let's
Have they
build a potato farm.
have they made Vinland Saga yet? I
Yeah.
know they're doing
All
it.
right, so some of you might know Dave suggested I read Vinland Saga, so I read like 150 chapters of it or something. The anime is way different than the manga, so they do it chronologically rather than the way that they tell. So it starts with Thor's jumping off the boat and swimming to Iceland or whatever, or Greenland, and then it starts with young Thorfinn rather than Thorfinn getting in some trouble at the beginning of the manga and then cutting back in time and then bouncing back and forth. It looks like it's just gonna go.
That's way better. That's a
Yeah,
way better.
I think so too. It was fucking jarring to see that shit in the wrong order. The CGI is awful, but the storyline's really good, obviously, because it's Vinland Saga.
CGI in it?
Yeah, so they do all the like big boat fights. Everything else is CGI except for the main ship fight. But all the animations hand drawn with some computer assist. It's good. You know, Thor's wrecking dudes by stabbing them through the chest. Looks real good.
All right.
Thor, I gotta tell you, man, I don't think the manga and the anime have matched up. Thor's is like 2.5 feet taller than everybody else in the anime. He stands up, he's like touching the ceiling, and everybody else is just like, what's that guy doing up there? Is that Thor's?
Have you seen the latest one? Or latest chapters of the manga?
No, I haven't read it since you suggested that I read it. I just like binged it and then stopped during the slave farm chapter because I got bored.
Well, it gets way better again, but like they go like
it would have to.
They show him again, and he's like fucking enormous. He's like picking up like palisade walls and shit like.
Yeah.
God. Anyway,
he fucking wrecks it.
I've been meaning to ask you because I love Vinland Saga so much. It's like the only manga that I love enough to actually consider purchasing the actual volumes to read. Do you have anywhere that you know of that sells them?
Bookwalker.
Like Bookwalker?
Yeah, Bookwalker. You have to pay in yen. It'll do automatic currency conversion for you, but Bookwalker covers most of the licensed stuff.
Oh shit! Do they do like packs, or you have to buy individual volumes?
No, you can buy individual volumes. I'm considering going in for the chapters of Mao Yusha, the one where the Demon King and the hero get married and are just like, let's grow potatoes and save the world.
Is that the big booby one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they literally are like, let's change the entire world with potatoes. And then they do it. It's sick. All right. The only other manga or anime of note this season is Fire Force, which is literally D&D flame wizards running a modern fire department out of the Catholic Church.
Wait, hang on. Is that the one with like?
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
Is that made by the same guy that did the
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Fire Force. I just know it looks good and it sounds good.
Hang on, I think I know the one. Hang on. Force. Oh yeah, no.
Fire
Force. I know that one.
Yeah, Fire Force.
I use his feet for it. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, he shoots flames out of his feet. Just does like incredible high speed kick drops.
Yep. It's made by the same guy that did the Phantom. Hang on, what was it fucking called?
Soul Eater.
Soul Eater, that's the one.
Soul Eater was pretty popular for a while.
It was, and then I don't know, it fell out of like.
Well, the anime got weird.
The anime was good, but then it just
it was good.
The plot in the anime was kind of like.
Well, it was different.
Then it ended, and then they tried to continue, and then it continued in the manga, but the manga wasn't as good as that arc or whatever. So
it got weird.
Yeah, it's manga. It's anime. It's weird.
All right. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you about anime talking. It's also like 91 degrees every day here. My cat is shedding on everything. And I launched a new tabletop RPG show called Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory Dark Inquisition that Atomic is on. That guy who's over right here. Oh, yeah, I pointed in the right direction. You have no idea how hard it is to remember my camera is reversed. It's incredibly hard. It's pretty dope. It's actually the best show I've ever launched, viewership-wise. It's outperforming... Yeah, it's outperformed. Well, see, the thing is, it's outperforming my regular best show, BattleTech, already. So, if it picks up, it could be my new best show ever. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think that's just because of the unique nature of that show type that everyone just goes from one show to another? Whereas like D&D, it's like, everyone could play D&D. And every game is the same to a degree.
Well, there's only 2 Wrath and Glory shows happening right now, and both of them launched this weekend. Margaret Crone launched Unsung Fury on Sunday.
That's with Eric Logaris, right?
Yeah, and a couple other folks.
And Lobozo? No, not Lobozo.
Yeah, Lobozo. Whatever. They're close enough. Yeah, and I mean, there's some Wrath and Glory series on YouTube, but they only go like 5 episodes, and to be honest, I didn't find any that I thought were particular. One was in German. I don't speak German, unfortunately. That's it. Spootnik, I'm gonna draw you back in here. Look like we're losing you a little bit. Have you considered?
Are we talking about anime? What?
No, we're talking about what you've done in the like 2 or 3. Has it been 3 weeks since we last?
No, it's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Last week off, yeah.
I was wondering if one day you might get a wizard hat and a robe and just do some dank DACA cosplay. Just like purple smoke coming out your vape machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can get like colored like vape smoke. Is that a thing?
I don't know, but I want it to be a thing right now.
In smoke though, and it would make the smoke like that color.
Yeah, I could. But I'd rather just like come like I'd be walking down the street and vaping like bright pink smoke or some shit.
You probably could, but I don't know what damage it would do.
Well, yeah, would it give me more cancer than what this is giving me? Or
Probably a ton. I mean, I know this shit that they put in tires to color the tire smoke is super fucking toxic.
Even if you did like food safe stuff, it would probably ruin your vape pretty fast.
Well, I don't know if there's anything like that that's food safe.
I had a glitter beer the other day.
I don't.
That is beer
I
with
want to know what it
food
is.
safe
Please tell
glitter
me.
in it.
It's beer with glitter in it. Yeah.
It's with food safe glitter, and my turds looked fantastic.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, that is absolutely what I thought was going to come out of the conversation when you said glitter beer.
Oh yeah, it came out all right.
Golden goose, look at me.
It was some kind of like Pride Month celebration beer thing. It just had rainbow glitter in it. It didn't taste like anything special or really that good, so I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't think many beers taste good.
Yeah. I had some really good barbecue last weekend.
I mean, how good?
Yeah.
Right.
like really good.
It's tough to have bad barbecue, right?
Yeah, it was some really good brisket. They had some fresh made crackling, some smoked mac and cheese with pulled pork in it.
I'm about to throw something at you. Okay.
Okay.
Superior barbecue sauce. Sugar based or vinegar based? We talking Carolina or everywhere else?
So, well, I think it depends on the mood. I'm really starting to like the Alabama white sauce.
All right.
That's really good on a lot of things. And I gotta say that the Midlands, South Carolina, where I'm at, the mustard-based sauce is really fucking good. Like yellow barbecue sauce. It's so good.
I mean, white sauce is a combination of sugar and vinegar sauces, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and then I mean, honestly, the North Carolina, the vinegar-based sauce, it depends on the sauce. Honestly, some of them can be just way too like, here's vinegar, and others
That's the best. Yeah.
kind of mellow. And it depends on my mood. Honestly, I think it's best with pork. I wouldn't see why you'd put it on like brisket or something. It's really good with barbecue chicken, smoked chicken. I think it goes well with. But yeah, I had a really, really good barbecue. It was from a food truck also, and it was at a craft beer store that we go to a lot. And me and my buddy went there. The event was starting. They were going to start serving at 11:30. We got there at 11, and we were still 15th in line, and we waited a half an hour for them to even start serving. But we got the damn brisket, so that's all I cared about. This food truck, I always miss their brisket. They're always out by the time I get to them. So
they set up a food truck in my neighborhood last week for a concert, and I went out there, and it was excellent. And so they decided to do another concert with the same food truck. They're doing the concert specifically to bring the food truck back.
Ooh,
the food truck would not show up unless there was an event.
What kind of food do they do?
Jerk chicken, motherfucker. They dispense so much jerk chicken.
Nice and spicy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Look, I grew up in the South. If it isn't spicy, it's not jerk chicken. Come on.
Yeah, man. That's there's a lot of things I hate about living in the South, but the spicy food, and yeah, I love the food. I love the food down here.
It'll kill you though. Food will absolutely murder you.
Oh yeah, you will die sooner, but that's fine because it's too fucking hot.
Also, at least you died happy.
Exactly. And it's all about portion control,
Because you'll need to get through all 15 portions.
That's right. Exactly. You got to pace yourself.
All right, Brian, I got to ask you something, my man. So Poland has a notorious lack of spices.
Right.
They like their paprika, and that's about the extent that we get over here. Do you think there is a recipe that I can make to cover meats with, like a dry rub or something like that, based around paprika, that you would recommend?
based around paprika. Well, yeah, I mean, when I do barbecue at home, I put paprika in it. It's usually mostly just for color, but a good rub recipe is you want to do equal parts salt and pepper. Okay. And use something, don't use table salt. Use like a kosher salt, like a larger grain salt. So equal parts. So like 1-to-1 salt, pepper, and then do like a half of that of a ground mustard, another half of paprika, then a quarter of cumin, a quarter of cayenne, or like a hot pepper spice.
Yeah, you've already lost me in the spice department. Like, there's nothing like that over here that I've found. So
they've got to have some. You can order the shit on fucking Amazon.
You have to go to like a super specialty shop, like you know how.
All right, listen.
I probably will have to.
Dave, keep it simple: salt, pepper, fresh cracked pepper, if you can get it, garlic powder.
Oh yeah, for garlic powder.
Onion, paprika. It's everything you need.
Yeah.
That 5-spice blend right there, you can put it on any steak. It'll give it a reddish tint, and it'll be garlicky as fuck, but it'll taste good.
All right, I was gonna make some drumsticks over the weekend. I was like, what the fuck
yeah, man.
Gonna do? So.
Oh yeah, Troll Player has, if you're doing a barbecue thing, a little bit of brown sugar in there can be nice. I tend
mostly just be like an oven thing. Most likely. The way that I do things these days is I pressure cook the meat first, and then I finish it up in a oven bake.
Yeah, you have to be careful with brown sugar, like any type of sugar though, when you're cooking it, depending on the how aggressive your heat is. If you're searing something, do not put brown sugar in it because that shit will burn. But if you're,
I mean, it burns really easily at basically any temperature.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're smoking something at like 225, 250, that's in freedom units, not Celsius. It'll be fun.
Look, if you're smoking something at 250 Celsius, it better be a fucking brick.
Well, that's when you're cooking on the surface of the sun.
That's like if you're like trying to use that to smoke something. Like you set something on fire at 250, let it smolder and cook something else.
When you want to turn your food into smoke, cook it at 250.
Yeah, you capture the smoke, you make an essence out of it, and then use that to flavor your other food.
Put it into a bag and huff it like a drug.
You take the applewood, you set the applewood itself on fire, and then beat the shit out of the meat with the flaming applewood. That's how you do it.
But I mean, you can also, Dave, you can also do things like liquid marinades that will help with flavor, and like one of my favorite marinades is to just take like Italian dressing and throw some chicken in a bag and just pour the dressing over it, seal up the bag, throw it in the fridge for an hour or two, or hell, even overnight, and then just cook it.
There's also just alternative stuff. Like, I can't eat spicy stuff or hot stuff anymore. I used to be obsessed with hot sauce as a kid, but I really can't do that anymore. So like, I moved to like, when I make wings, I do like a garlic Parmesan wing. It's like really, I got from some people in Atlanta, and it was really fucking good. Has no spice at all, but it's got a lot of really good flavor in it. It works pretty well. So
I also heard that like if you take a whole chicken, right, and you just like flatten that bitch out.
Oh yeah.
Like remove the spine and the rib cage and shit, and you flatten it out, and then you just you leave it in a bag with buttermilk for like 24 hours.
Yep.
Or whatever.
That's the way to do fried chicken.
Salt water, bitch. You gotta brine that motherfucker. Oh, you need pickle juice. Pickle juice.
What you need is to get yourself a 12-inch cast iron skillet and get yourself like a 3.5 pound max whole chicken. Cut the backbone out. Flip it over so the breast side is up. Push down on it. It'll break the keel bone, and it'll flatten out all nice. But what you do is you put it in the oven, your cast iron skillet, put it in the oven when it's cold, and then turn your oven on as hot as it'll get. So like my oven goes up to 500 degrees. By the time the oven gets to 500 degrees, you can pull the pan out, and you just put salt and pepper and olive oil all over the chicken. Put it breast side down in the hot pan, and slide it back in the oven, knock the temp down to about 450. After about half an hour, flip the chicken over, rub some fresh garlic, maybe some rosemary on it, put it back in the oven for another 10-15 minutes. And when you're done, pull it out. The skin will be nice and super crispy. Let it rest on a cutting board. Don't even put foil over it. Let it sit there for about 15 minutes, and then just carve that son of a bitch up. It'll still be hot as hell, like too hot to eat, but it'll be some of the best roasted chicken you'll ever have.
I really want to turn on the AP Cooking Meal theme song that was designed for my failed cooking show, just for this conversation.
Which you can use for your cooking DnD show.
Yeah.
Control player cast iron skillet. You can buy a large cast iron skillet for $20 on Amazon, maybe $25.
You better be seasoned for that price.
Yeah, they come pre-seasoned.
Yeah, it better.
Pre-seasoned.
Yeah.
What are you laughing about? It better come pre-seasoned. Man, they can do that shit better than you can, for sure.
You know what the extent is over here in Poland? It's like, yo, hopefully like coal. That's about it, man. Get some coal barbecues, and they're like these tiny little things like this.
We're not talking about the same thing. Seasoning a skillet involves covering it in oil.
Right. So what you do is you want to use an oil that has a very high, well, not very high, but a smoke point above 4 or 450 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to put a very thin coating on the skillet, like so thin that like when you're wiping it off, there's almost no oil coming off of it again. And then
you have to season
a very hot oven.
You have to season unseasoned skillets before they can be used properly.
Yeah, basically. Or else food just sticks. It makes a cast iron skillet non-stick. And even the ones that come pre-seasoned, the season can wear off after a while. So usually about maybe once or twice a year, I'll season all my cast iron stuff at once, just throw it all in the oven at the same time.
All right, Spootnik, you got anything else going on in real life?
That's about it. I'm hungry now.
Yeah, so is half of chat.
Fuck.
I love how we start talking about cooking and like everybody pipes up out of nowhere. Drumurboy, I happen to know that you're a man that goes onto weird hook railways that you travel on by one hand, and then you find your girlfriend's mom who's a zombie and you kill her.
Not my girlfriend. That's real weird. It gets really...
Oh, it does get confusing. Yes.
You realize later why. Unless you know why.
I've played through part of BioShock Infinity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get to the end one day.
Okay. Yep. Playing BioShock.
Now I understand.
We just got to the ghost mother part. Getting into House Comstock. So I did that after getting really frustrated at the fucking boss. Like, I don't know why I was having so much trouble. I did it like 6 times and died every single time.
Wait, that's I think I remember the part you're at. Like there was like a random ghost in there for some reason. I remember.
Yeah, it's because it's Elizabeth's mother that gets brought back to life through time shit because Elizabeth is a time wizard, kind of. Or dimension.
I didn't gather that when I played the game. Man, you must have been paying more attention than I was.
Probably, because that's like a main sticking point of the whole story, man. Like,
I don't know. I think by that point I was annoyed at how difficult the game suddenly got. There was one part earlier before that, and I think it might have been before that, we had to fight like 2 big daddies, or the heart dudes. I forget what they're called.
Handyman.
But the big daddy equivalent. Yeah.
Handyman.
Yeah. And I remember that.
Like I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, and those guys don't give me too much trouble. There was one that gave me a bit of trouble on just because the level was.
It's not those dudes that gave me the trouble. It was the scenario that there was 2 of them.
Yeah. But that ghost fight, man, because she, like the ghost resurrects the dead mooks. Like she summons mobs to like try to kill you and everything, and you can kill them, but she just resummons them back to life. So you have to shoot all them. So you're not getting blown away mid-fight, and then you can shoot the ghost. So on the last run, I was just pissed, so I just focused down the ghost mother, and it was easy pants. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Also, I bought a new mouse and a mouse pad. The mouse pad is gigantic. Like it's the size of my
Yeah,
desk.
dude. Yeah, I got one that's like this long. It's awesome.
Yeah,
You put
mine's
your
not quite
keyboard
that-
on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not quite that long. It's one of those like Steel Series cloth ones. It's like it's about as tall as my desk is, but my desk is kind of short. And then I bought a new power supply because the fan was clicking. It was like making weird ass noises. So I finally replaced that, which was an
Mm.
ordeal.
Bearings.
Just because like I thought it was gonna be a quick, simple, like take out the connectors, replug in the new ones, like screw it all together, good to go. There's one connector at the top of the case behind my CPU tower, like the cooling tower, and underneath the two fans that I have in my PC. So it ended up being an entire PC teardown and rebuild.
Yeah, that 8-pin. And I had to, when I had rebuilt mine back sometime last year, the small form factor like power supplies, the cable, like the terminal standard had changed, so none of my old cables worked. I was like, fuck, I had to undo
Wow.
everything, because it's like, oh, I'll just undo everything at the supply part, the unit, because it's fully modular, slap a new one in, whatever. Like, nope, like 2 of them fit. Fuck.
Yeah. This
That
one was
was-
like this one's pretty easy. What I realized though, the reason why the bearing died, because when I built my computer 3.5 years ago, I installed the power supply upside down.
It really doesn't make a whole lot of
Well, like
difference.
it's like the fan is supposed to be facing upwards towards the case, and mine was facing down towards the floor, like through a filter. So I think the additional weight of like 3.5 years worth of just like sitting on it and spinning wore it out faster.
It's probably, I mean, even the smallest amount of, dirt and stuff will make fans just go batshit crazy. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably more so what happened, because most of those units you can go up or down. It doesn't make any difference as far as the lifetime of the fan bearings go. Anyway.
Yeah, it's sitting over there. I got to figure out a way to like dispose of that thing. I think there's like a electronics recycling plant in town that I can drop that shit off at. But other than that, working on Far Own Season 2 music, because that started up this last weekend. So yeah, it's been a cool week. Also
Been
got
busy.
sucked back into Warframe.
Oh boy, Warframe.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I should
heard
probably
that the
look at
new
it
thing
anymore.
is badonkadunk. So
People been
Yeah,
losing their
I'm-
shit about it. So
I'm trying to get to endgame because I played it for like 175 hours or something before I quit, and then I didn't even reach endgame. Like I got through the quests, but like there's the entire planet map to complete, and then like the new free roam zones. They've got gigantic shit, all this stuff to grind. It's basically like they were on Drop Frames earlier today, actually, the community team, Rebecca Ford and Megan, someone. And they were they said something that was like Warframe is basically like Stardew Valley, but for shooter fans.
Oh, is that
And
real?
It's very true. Like you just kind of sit there and go through levels and grind and like farm your shit, and then go tell your your ship to build components, and then go back out, get more resources and materials. And
I want you to know, Drumurboy, I've literally never cared about Warframe until you said that, and now I have a distinct urge to want to play Warframe.
the thing that stopped me playing Warframe was the first time that I had to build something. I was like, okay, come back in literally 48 hours of real time. And I'm like, cool, man, I guess. It is a free game, but
yeah, what really kind of, unless you're playing with people you really know, like, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to do in groups, but it's like, because it's all just literally kind of what Drumboy would say, it's just about you need X amount of materials, so the whole purpose is to get those materials as quick as possible. You skip 95% of a thing, and it's just people just like who
Farming.
know. Well, it's people that it starts, and then everybody does like there's like this like a double jump corkscrew whatever thing that allows you to like move the exactly, and it's like that's all it is. You kill like one guy, and then it's that all the way back, and you do that 30 times, and it's like it's I would rather have to like say, just as an example, like Division or something, like fight my way through a whole thing, and it's like, because I at least feel like I'm doing so instead of just like you're just skipping everything to it just I don't know. It kind of lost.
Both
it for a while.
bigoted and literal skipping because you skip like
Yeah, I play solo though, so there's not too much of that for me, except for when I'm leveling frames, because leveling frames solo fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I found when they introduced bows and you could like really start to actually stealth missions, it was really fun to kind of do that because it was kind of just an actual whatever. But just the oh, we're just gonna take this like same path 50 times to get like what it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So I haven't done a ton in it, but
I'm hitting near end game because like I'm done the story quests. I'm just like leveling up my shit so I don't get wrecked in the later levels to reach actual end game. But like I'm starting to understand more deeply the mod system that they have in the game. So that's pretty rewarding actually. Like starting to understand game systems that like something clicks and then you can do the next planet like no problem. Just because you're like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that like the crit on this gun was higher than the status. So maybe I should build into a crit, like do a crit build on this weapon instead of like a 50-50 status crit build. Then you can go all in on crit and every shot you take is a crit. And then you have effects on crit that you can add as well. So it's like PoE in that sense, sort of like you can just like build your character and rebuild your character anytime you want. So I've been enjoying it. It's one of those games like it's also in the PoE sense like you play it really hard for like 2 or 3 weeks and you wait for new content.
yeah,
That's basically it.
Got anything else, Drummer?
I already mentioned the Far Verona thing.
Yep.
No?
All right,
Go.
Atomic. What you got?
Well, we started the Warhammer show, and that was fun. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes going forward. So I mean, it was a good time. It was we did some things, and a lot of the people who were very familiar with Warhammer, like, yep, nope, this seems about right. This is exactly what I expected. So I mean, next week will be the real test because of we're actually playing the tabletop component of it. So that'll be that'll be when all of the shit starts getting thrown at us. So
Oh yeah, and I'm sure Chad is going to be like, "No,
Well,
that was a bad move."
That's what I mean about the shit being thrown at us.
Yeah,
Not like
it's
you
gonna happen.
throwing, like people actually just hucking feces at us for being bad at 8th edition. So, but other than that, I mean, I really haven't done anything. I mean, I've been working on doing some modifications to my desk and my workbench and stuff, and cleaning up some wiring and stuff. It's really pretty much been about it. I had a lot of doctor's appointments. I had some of my nerves cauterized on Monday. That was fun. Again.
Wow.
Yeah, I have it done about every 5-6 months. And so I'm still pretty miserable from that because it feels like somebody took a baseball bat to my lower spine. But that'll go in about a week and then it'll feel pretty good as far as that goes. So it's just waiting. So I'm kind of miserable at the moment, but whatever.
Can't take any like pain meds for that, or do they interact?
Some of them interact, and then other ones it's just I mean, your nerves were literally just zapped with electricity. It's
yeah, you're right.
shit.
That would get on my nerves as well.
Wow.
But
Wow, dude.
Wow.
Way to make like a serious conversation.
Yeah, it's whatever. They do it all the time. But yeah, no, there's not really anything you can. I mean, you can take some kind of like weak baby shit for it, but I have such a high tolerance to medication these days that it's like, why even fucking bother? Just take a drink of desk whiskey and deal with it.
Yeah, and painkiller stuff tends to work on like muscle aches and shit more often anyway.
Yeah. Well, plus a lot of them.
Hold up. You have a defined desk whiskey? Of course you do. Yeah.
You got your desk whiskey, your bathroom whiskey, your kitchen whiskey, your bed whiskey.
Please.
Your boat whiskey?
Bed and desk whiskey only. All right. Let's not get carried away.
You don't have whiskey in the bathroom? Come on, dude.
Yeah, you got your poop whiskey. You put it in that little where the water sits, so it's cool.
Be right back. Making.
Look, guys, I mean, I feel like we are missing a very interesting tie-in that we could have with.
Can we just play D&D now?
Whoa!
Hey,
I was gonna do my selling on pizza bagels. I feel like we could do Bagels in the morning, bagels in the evening, bagels at supper time
I was
with your
doing,
desk whiskey.
Stranger
But
Things.
Now, but see, the thing about that jingle is that what is the difference between bagels in the evening and bagels at supper time? Isn't that the same fucking time?
no, they're not the same time. How can a person that is playing a halfling not know the difference between second breakfast and breakfast?
But that's in the morning.
You don't know the difference between dinner and supper?
Mom, can I have some bagels? Finish your bagels.
Yeah.
All right. Atomic, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, we got to get to Dave before Drumurboy loses it. Dave?
Whew. Hey, everyone. I just want to talk real quick about two things. The first one is, I got video games coming out all over the place these days. Go check them out.
On the new
One's called-
Switch Lite. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I'll have to double check if our games work on that fucking thing. It came out this afternoon. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? So I looked into it. It's like, yep, if your game is not handheld compatible, shit don't work on that thing. And I'm like, We actually have a game coming out pretty soon where the idea is that you use the two Joy-Cons and you like fight each other with the Joy-Cons. So I'm just kind of like, whoa, shit. So
just swinging the light at people. Ah.
yeah, basically, yeah. And that's really fucking annoying. But having said that,
Well, they do say that you can use extra Joy-Cons and link it up to it to play.
yeah, but no one's gonna buy extra fucking Joy. Those are for kids.
There are a lot of people that are already Switch owners that want to buy it just for the extended battery life.
It's like 25% extra battery life.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
I'm telling you,
like
man.
1 more hour of battery life.
Well,
I'm just saying,
well, for a lot
everybody
of
wants
people-
one.
Well, for a lot of people though too, they're probably getting to the point to where their battery life is diminishing just
From
due to-
use, yeah.
Exactly. So it's
No, hold out until early next year for the Pro version. Right, that's the one you want.
That's the TV,
You want the
right?
battery.
It comes down.
No,
That's the TV.
It's just a
Joy-Cons on the side.
The 32-inch screen with
You need like a
4K.
second person to
4K.
4K to play all your Nintendo games in.
I'm just-
Clear
I'm just-
720p.
Dock to put it so you can play it on your 60-inch TV.
I'm just imagining somebody. It's just you have Joy-Cons on either side of like a 34-inch like curved ultra wide display. Like
You can only play 2 players.
You and your kids have to play together?
Yeah.
Look, here's the only thing.
All
that
right,
I
it's
want.
quarter circle forward, BAAA. Okay, you got that,
No,
honey?
then-
Here we go.
Then they'll sell the TV with the Joy-Cons on the side. If you want to play by yourself, they'll sell like the branded extender hands, like those things. But,
Oh
like,
my god.
You need to wear the
What's that punchy
Nintendo
game?
glove,
Mad
makes-
Cat.
Mickey Mouse size to push the button.
But they'll be branded after the punchy game, like the stretchy punchy game that they had coming out.
Oh yeah, okay. You mean the Arms game?
Arms,
Whatever.
yeah. It'll be that themed, but like stuff that you can actually reach the 40, like your 40-inch TV, Joy-Cons on the side.
Yeah.
And
But yeah,
then
the only thing I want from a
they'll sell
Nintendo Switch
Amiibos
is
for it.
fucking... I just want Bluetooth 5.0 in there, so I can use like wireless headphones with the fucking thing.
I
Look
want
at
That's
this
all I want.
guy.
I
Come
want
on now.
MIDI 2.0 to come out. I was reading a document on that. MIDI 2 looks crazy.
Yeah.
Like doing stuff. You don't only use MIDI for like music. You can use it for running lights. The Elgato runs on MIDI, like the Stream Deck. So like you could
Really?
technically, you could run like MIDI CCs through a browser to come to an Elgato thing. So you could like be anywhere and like have a wireless Elgato running your stream off your phone or whatever.
Fuck,
Okay.
I don't know if I'd trust that.
It's crazy. dude.
So yeah, Warlocks 2, Godslayers, and then the next week the PC version for that is coming out, which is good. And then we'll have Wrecking Ball, and then we'll have Wrecked, and then we'll have Elder's Blood, which comes out sometime later this year.
You guys are making a lot of games.
Yeah, and then we're about to sign 2 more games. Tomorrow we're signing 1 game. That'll be fun. I've been working on that one for a while. And then we'll have another game called Body of Evidence, which is like a crime scene cleaning game made by the same guys that made House Flipper.
Oh, nice.
So,
That sounds cool.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's like you walk into a scene and you're just like, the puzzle of the game is how do you dispose of a corpse, basically. Like I don't know, chop it up, put it into a blender, and then flush that blending stuff in the toilet. Like it's things like that. It's not bad. It's
Look, Dave, if the beginning of every scenario doesn't start with the person walking into the room, pulling out a pair of sunglasses and being like, I guess you could say she's been chopped. And then the music is just like, dun, 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 and there's a laugh track.
Unfortunately, it's nothing like that. But there is a level where you go into John Wick's house and clean up all the bodies in there.
Oh shit!
You find the dog and then you beat
Oh,
I want a viscera cleanup detail, but you just follow John Wick around. I'd be all about it.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Either that or like follow Superman around.
It's not so viscera cleanup detail. It's not so like, mechanical like that is, but it is kind of similar to that.
You arrive at a power plant, manager was murdered. Character walks in and goes, I guess you could say that this killing came as a shock.
Jesus Christ.
Every single time, Dave. I'm telling you.
Every
Every
single
level
time.
has a one-liner, like a
Yeah,
terrible.
exactly. Right at the very beginning. Oh, and make it unskippable too. So every time you restart, you are punished. Force through a limit.
Oh God.
Imagine a cleaning game where you had to go into a D&D dungeon and clean stuff, but the traps were all reset.
Well, I mean, who do you think resets those traps, right? You literally have to have a
You're
little
that
pack of
guy.
minions.
You gotta
Yeah.
go clean up and then reset.
Damn, that's actually not a bad idea. I
You
might
gotta
steal
do it
that.
in a certain order, else you'll paint yourself into a corner and kill yourself.
That's brilliant.
All
I'm gonna
right,
do
I
that.
got the blood cleaned off of the basilisk cage glass, and oh shit! And then you look at the basilisk and you get stuck,
Yeah.
turn into stone.
You're the new blood at the Fungin.
Fungin.
You gotta go through.
Enter the Fungin, Gleemo's demise.
I would play that game.
You gotta go through because you're the
Over and
new guy
over.
that has to do all the shit that no one else wants to do. You gotta clean the blood off the spike pit.
Gleemo is the
Yeah.
tutorial. He shows up. He's like, "Hey, welcome to the Fungin. Let me walk you through your duties here."
See what Chris Angel is doing to him the voice. I don't think he's doing anything. He's in Vegas.
He's still mind
You
freaking
can go that you can do that thing where you pay a celebrity $30 on that website to
Oh,
show up
yeah,
and do
yeah.
something. Yeah, and he could just give you like 40 lines of dialogue, and you just slap that on the front of the game. Like. Anyway, and the second thing I want to talk about is that new fucking Fire Emblem game that comes out.
Three Houses.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
God damn
man.
it, I want it so
Look,
bad.
you can't make an army of children that also have children, which makes me upset. But it is going to be Fire Emblem, and it's going to be dope as hell.
Dude, no, you can do something better. You can taint the futures of children while they're in school. That's the kicker.
I'm going to create the ultimate army of excellent children who are all good students, and they love each other a lot, and they all have romances.
So you're gonna create that.
That's one way to play.
Yeah, that is one way to play.
It sounds like a freaking cult already.
Yeah, I am going to make a cult.
Yeah, I don't know. That game seems interesting because the last Fire Emblem I was completely turned off when they did the Pokemon thing of like, which side do you want to buy? Because you have to buy one of them.
No, that game was great.
Yeah, but I know, but I didn't want to buy two fucking games.
No. So you buy one game, and then at the end of the game, it'll be like you can buy the other storylines for $20. You could DLC
Yeah, I
it.
wasn't going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And this
The
one,
other-
you get free storylines.
The other storylines for Fates were all like 60 hours long, and they were really good.
I know, but I don't like buying.
You're missing
into
out,
that
man.
bullshit.
Fates was excellent. Fates was the one where you could have children, and then you would ship the children together as well. And then if you only had a child army, they would end up surpassing their children. You would get to the end of the game, and there would be a bunch of 16-year-olds that were fucking god slayers.
Nice.
Yeah, it was wild. Dawson, please don't talk about Thousand Arms.
I'm taking that day off work, I think, to play that game.
Yeah. I might do the same. What day does it come out? The 25th, right? Or something?
I thought it was 28th.
Oh man, I don't know.
God, look it up. Google that shit.
Googling.
It'd be like the release day of Diablo 4. Everybody's off work that day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a local download or whatever, so it's like.
I mean, I got it on Amazon, so I'll just get the actual
July 26th
package.
26. What day of the week is that?
July 26th is a Friday.
Oh shit! 3-day weekend, boys.
I want to point out I actually knew that without having to look it up.
Why is that? How'd you know that?
Because July 19th is a Friday.
Well, but what if you didn't know that July 19th was a Friday?
But I did know July 19th was a Friday.
Remember that part where
Yeah, we're going to
AP
get
was
started
like-
at some point. Well, I want to point out, Drumurboy was like, let's get started playing D&D. And then we started Dave's thing, and Drumurboy got involved in it again.
I was just doing a Stranger Things 3 reference because I actually started watching.
Can we play D&D, please? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched the
looked
first
up.
episode. I haven't watched anything else.
I'm not watching the
think
first
I didn't say
episode.
anything.
I don't understand how you people can do this. You only watch Stranger Things on Halloween. What's wrong with you?
I think that the third season is either tied for or better than the first season.
Season
Oh,
1 and
shit,
2
if you're
both
gonna
came
say
out on
that.
Halloween week, losers. If you watch it when it's not Halloween, it's not Stranger Things. That's all I'm saying.
Motherfucker,
But
I don't even
the
live in
holiday
America.
in the show. The holiday in the show is 4th of July. So
Oh,
they
fuck.
put it
Now
out
I'm going to
on
have to watch
4th.
it. Ugh.
Yeah,
Ah,
You got
not
me. You
holiday.
fucking boomed me.
got it.
I just finished episode 3 last night. Damn, that show.
Don't say anything.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
don't-
say anything.
fucking
It's
do it.
just- It's very good.
Arthur
You should-
ruined a fucking book for me last week. We played. Fuck.
You don't remember. You don't remember what I said.
You don't know how to say anything.
You have no
Arthur.
idea what I said, Dave. You could not repeat it. What did I say? How did I ruin it for you?
You said Jesna is fucking anime shit.
Yeah, she is anime shit. She fucking
And then
turned
you
someone
forgot
into
about the-
smoke.
Then you forgot about the fucking point where she. Whatever. I'm not gonna say because someone else is gonna get fucking ruined then.
well, at least AP can't ruin the 40K timeline for me because I have like all the books already. So it's
Don't worry,
fine.
I'm gonna ruin the 40K timeline for you real bad.
You can't do a worse job than Games Workshop has done in the past.
Oh shit!
My God.
Welcome
This-
to Spoiler Dominoes.
What he doesn't
Okay,
know is I'm
yeah.
not gonna mess up the past for him. I'm gonna mess up the future.
Damn.
I don't know if you can still do a worse job.
Atomic, I'm gonna tell you this. Someone told me that it would be possible if a bunch of orcs started believing that a magical girl wand was capable of giving an orc magical powers and giving them a dress, then that would make the orc holding it turn into an orc magical girl. And they would have a lot of magical girl powers because they all believe in the psychic gestalt.
I mean,
That's canon. That's
Yeah.
canon, and you can't stop me from doing it. And if you challenge me again, it's gonna happen, and you're gonna end up
I'm
fighting an
pretty
orc in
sure
a
James
dress
will fly over from Australia and
with
throw
the
him.
stick. That's how orcs work. The audience is behind me on this one, Atomic. I can make it happen.
It's okay. They can be wrong.
You need the big red button to get out of this conversation. Let's go.
Are we ready to get started?
Yes.
Do not challenge the future of 40K. I'm dying. Previously on this show, you all traveled back in time via dying. You decide to hook up with your good friend Glimo and convince him to join you on a magical quest to go confront Rorik and figure out why Rorik is such an asshole. You arrived. Rorik had just recently turned into an asshole after all of Freehold, all of Flemia has been burned down. In the corpse ash of the ruins, Rorik challenged you. Retreating to his home, he summoned up waves of zombies and other creatures to fight you. Finley got off a fucking sick hit right on Rorik's orb, which we have no idea what the orb does.
Hey,
I'm
don't do anything now.
It's been 2 weeks and I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, that shit broke as fuck now,
We
boy.
may never know what that orb does.
I ruined his future.
Glimo,
Take a look into my glass bowl, and what do you see? Nothing, because it's not in his hand anymore. Boom.
Glimo fell in the combat, and in the aftermath, the party set out looking for clues and answers and found few. Daka, however, found a barely alive green kobold and received some information about how, from the kobold's point of view, Rorik was the cause of everything. Releasing the kobold after scaring the crap out of him, the four of you have settled down, creating a campsite at the edge of the burned city of Flemia in order to discuss your next move.
I forgot all about the episode.
Trap
3
8
style.
2.0. Yeah.
No, the episode 3 style. From my point of view, it's you who are evil.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. Yeah.
That keeps
Wait, what
happening,
a-
though. Remember in the desert, the lizard folk were like, this is our land, and the Empire showed up and took it from us, and we're just getting our access to the water rights back. And you were like, no, we're going to kill you anyway.
Like in a different timeline, we did it your way, Arthur.
Look, I'm just saying, this isn't an episode 3 related thing. Sometimes people have different views on the same situation.
We got our comeuppance, though, except for Daka, because they all drank the wizard spit.
That's right.
You know, in a different timeline, Daka was the only one that drank the whiskey.
Oh my god, Dave. You gotta chill it. You gotta chill it with the different timeline.
Daka takes his weed back from Kelly.
No!
In every timeline, Kelly
Every
loses.
timeline.
The four of you are sitting around the camp that you have constructed. What are we looking at here? Is it just like a simple fire with your cart and 2 horses? You buried Glimo, right?
Yeah. We needed a long rest. We buried Glimo, and there was something about someone did something to investigate a long, we did like an investigation roll that was like 8
Several
hours.
investigation rolls, actually.
Yeah. So I think it'd be a pretty decent fireplace at least. Maybe cooking like a decent stew or something like that. Most likely.
And we already cased the joint. We already looted the whole town.
Horses are watered and de-saddled and shit.
What did we get from the town?
What do you mean, what did you get from the town?
At the end of last episode, you were like, "Do you want to loot the town?" I'm like,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because-
All right, let me work on that.
That's right.
I'll get to it.
"Because we're gonna be fucking loaded, dude."
I
Yeah,
might
hell
actually
yeah.
wrote that down.
I was thinking about this actually over the break that we had. What if we go back to that Dragon Boy and take his gauntlets, and then everyone has strength 19?
What I would like is something to increase my intelligence, because I've been doing a lot of intelligence rolls. I got a -1.
That's why we need to go. That's why we need to go to that crystal and then re-roll and do all the restats and stuff.
Is that a restat or a reclassing?
Well, I mean, you really couldn't reclass it at restatting without just being useless.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
So
true.
I'd imagine it'd be from the ground up. You change everything.
Check that shit out. 80 gold, 60.
So it's no gold. It's 8,000 copper pieces and 600 silver pieces is what you gather up from the ruins of people's houses, from off of their dead bodies.
So
All of it
150
survived the
gold.
fire, but as you all return to the campsite, you are all covered in white ash of corpse and bone, and the burned walls and buildings. A fine layer has settled in everywhere, and even the night winds has begun to blow it in every direction.
Was this at night?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
what
you
was-
guys spent 8 hours during the day doing investigation and burning people, and so it is nighttime now.
Where the crystal thing was in the
There's
mountains,
a volcano somewhere, right?
volcano
in
to the
there.
north or whatever.
Yeah. It was northwest of the Sunpath Empire map.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the only thing that I remember from that.
It's a long way to go. And if we go through Fort Kuso, we're gonna face that army.
Yep. But it's a thing we haven't done before, so we might as well
Sure.
try it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Down.
The only
You know,
place I've got-
the other thing that we could potentially do too is There was the Magda army. You remember that? They tried to recruit us for that shit. So potentially we could go with that army up north through the demon stuff and then break away from them when we want to go somewhere else.
Were they going to the demon stuff or were they going to the east?
I remember they were wanting to go to the demon stuff. They wanted to go north, right, Arthur?
So the battle, so every spring they start the battle anew between the Demon Lord and the forces of Royal Magnar, and it encompasses the entire north to east quadrant. The battlefront is hundreds of miles long.
Right.
Yeah, we can head north. If we want to stop by that, I kind of want to stop by that temple that we found. The
Teleporting
dogs.
corgis.
The teleporting corgis, yeah. Because that's on the way.
It is north, yes.
And then also maybe that thing will still be in there, so we could figure out what's actually up with that goo. Whatever.
Yeah. Can you send me the Google Doc, Drumurboy?
Yep. I should just pin it in our chat.
There is a Google Doc handout, but there's nothing in there. So
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw it in Discord and then I'll pin it, or get.
I'll pin it. Yeah, that's fine.
Share a link. Boop.
yeah.
So what's the next step?
Well, if I remember correctly, there was also a lady that we could talk to who was fighting against the undead stuff. Yeah.
You were told that the first princess of Royal Magnar had returned to the capital during its hour of need and had ended up fighting alongside Stalvin Black, the Demon Lord, in order to repulse the forces of Rorik, who was raising all of the dead citizens back up.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a problem
And
now.
It is
And
currently not a
she-
problem. No, with Rorik dead, he will not be able to raise the forces of the dead against anyone.
And Limo's dead. The second.
And Gleamo's dead. Yeah. But that, you know, that's.
Are you celebrating the death of Gleamo, friends?
I'm not.
I'm hearing some Gleamo death celebration. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I think it's just fortuitous that the two people that we know that turn.
Well, yeah. I mean, that doesn't stop her. That doesn't stop Death from finding new avatars, right? So
no.
Yeah.
Said it was
it's inevitable.
This week.
Yeah, 28. Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm just reading
Thanos
about
shows up and is like, "I am inevitability."
well, I'm Purple Smoke Man.
So I think we should just try and head north, honestly, and try and find this thing. And whatever happens, happens, I guess, right? So.
Yeah. The only other place that I'd want to stop by is that Elven Mr. X room that we found. I think we
The
have
one that turned me, yeah.
Yeah, the incubus. Because I think we have new information to ask the VI computer thing. We have new names, new Elven names to throw at it, I think.
Oh yeah,
You walk up to a DOS terminal, you just start typing program names in, hoping one of them will run.
Ancient Elven God.exe. Fuck. Ancient Time Lord.exe. Fuck. You can't put a space between ancient and the name. It messes with the syntax.
Try an underscore.
You're using the wrong type of bracket.
Okay, so yeah, do you guys just want to head north and see what we see?
Yep.
There we could do that.
The only other place that we haven't been to yet, this down on this map, is the Elven Ruins to the southeast, I think it was?
Yes, there's a set of Elven ruins to the southeast. You've been told that adventurers travel there in order to protect Freehold from whatever horrible monstrosities show up.
So that might be an avenue of next death, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. But I honestly, I think the biggest unlock we can get for us would be the respec, I guess. So I think, but I don't know how to get there. We don't even know where it is, right?
For,
Yeah, we don't.
do we know of anyone that can point us in the right direction?
We could go back to that cave and talk to those dudes that were inside there forever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the bone snake people or whatever.
Bone snake people, yeah.
We would be fighting through the war at that point.
What I thought, I mean, we had
Yeah,
already gotten all the information that we could get from that guy, right? We stayed there for a while asking
Yep.
questions.
Yeah, and he basically said that it's northwest of here.
He also
in a
said that there's
mountain.
multiple places, though, right, Arthur?
Sorry, what was that?
The weird time snake demon that we found. He mentioned the crystal thing, but he also mentioned there was multiple places like that.
Yes. He just didn't know where they were. He
Right.
did mention that there were multiple such places.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I guess we go north and see what we find first, and we can decide whether we go to the Elven Ruin or whatever, depending on what's up there, I guess, at this point.
Like the only what's I haven't done the NPC name thing yet, so yeah, let's just bypass it. I got to go back through documents and like find out names of NPCs and then put them in a separate spreadsheet so we can actually ask
Oh.
about them.
Because yeah, like the first 20 sessions of notes were just horrible.
Yeah, well, we have like session notes now, but they don't. If there's names, they're not like
Yeah.
tagged in any way. So
Okay.
let's just go to Magnar first, I guess.
It's a place to start.
Okay. So let's talk about what you're doing immediately right now. Are you setting a
Going
watch before? I mean,
Oh,
it's
right
the middle of the night. You've literally killed, and I mean, you can don't get me wrong. If you want to keep going, that's fine. You're just gonna start hitting yourself with exhaustion penalties.
No, I think we'll rest for the night. I mean, that
Yeah,
seems
We
fine.
should. And
We'll take normal watches so that I guess Spootnik is last as always.
Yep.
And then I'll take the middle. Oh no, I'll take the one just before. Yeah. Oh no, actually, I'll stay. No, yeah, I'll take the middle, and then you guys can do whatever you want.
I think it's usual. Like the usual thing is Spooty because they're still light, and then either me or Agram, and then Kelly at the last watch.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm happy for that because I have like 10-minute armor. So
Cool. Is my mic still okay?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Cool.
sound fine to us. It's only one
I think he
person.
was a little quiet there for a while when he wasn't fully speaking directly into it. But other
Yeah,
than that,
I upped my gain a little bit, so
okay. Let's talk about you, Daka. Let's talk about you.
about what?
During your watch, you are drawn from wakefulness into a dream. Everything around you is hazy and colored in purple smoke. It's like the campsite that you were in, but it's turned into like watercolor painting all around you, and the smoke is everywhere. And there's just a floating wooden mask painted white hanging in front of your face.
That's
Just-
like the upside down at a Hendrix concert. I got it.
And the mask says, "My prophet,
You summoned me.
you have told this small kobold thing, this dragon child, to help rebuild this area.
Yes.
I would rather that you harvest the negativity and create a portal to my realm here on the material plane. Join with me in creating a ritual to bring the dark soul energy of those killed unjustly, of those who battled in generational hatred and wrathful vengeance.
I drew your symbol in the ashes of Rorik.
I know.
He
It
was
is
the
not
one that-
enough. We will take
He's-
all of them.
I would have thought that his
There is
anger
a
and
prior
hatred-
claim on his soul.
Oh, I see.
But I will take his dark energy. Will you aid me in creating a new forest, a wild forest, to reclaim the works of man? The flame has cleansed the land. It is primed and ready.
Sure. One request. There's a swamp some miles from here. Could it grow that way?
Yes.
Perfect.
So, I need you to make an Arcana roll as you come back to mostly consciousness. But the unnamed mask whispers instructions into your ears for you to follow.
17's not bad.
So instead of sitting watch, you leave your friends to go undertake this ritual, and you do not wake them for their watches. Their sleeping bodies are left alone for the night. You travel out into the ashes of the remains of the town and find a suitable block of wood and a small knife and begin carving a oval mass shape. And then you cut the eyes out and spread the ashes of the dead to turn it white. And then go around carving symbols into various things, drawing unusual shapes and runes in the ash, and chanting words that cross through your mind. Nothing about it makes any sense to you, but at the end of it, you notice with the sun rising in various places, green sprouts begin coming out all over the place in a way that could not be natural. A forest will grow here. A wild forest, a fey forest, will grow here on the material plane.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the
you
last-
take
the last place I carved was like, what was her name? Lydia? No,
Lycidia.
no,
You nope, that's my notes. Shit.
what's her name? Did you just show the audience your notes?
I did. They might have got some. If someone goes back and pauses it, they might get a shit ton of spoilers. I don't know.
Whatever the cleric of this town was.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Her name is Liliana, the priestess of
Liliana.
Wellwind. That's who you mean.
Her shield was all fucked up from like scratches and shit. That's
Yes.
probably like the last place that I would mark.
Okay.
Like
So you take two
scratch the
levels of
dirt and a little fucking green sprout pops up.
you take 2 levels of exhaustion. So you have disadvantage on any ability checks for the day, and your speed is halved. Because you didn't sleep, and part of you went into this magic. You can feel something precious leaving you as you incant this.
Can I mark that somewhere?
I
Is
don't
there like a
know.
custom pip?
I have
deal
no
there?
idea. But every time you take a long rest with food and water, you will remove a level of exhaustion.
I know D&D Beyond has an exhaustion tracker, but I don't think that the Roll20 sheet doesn't.
Maybe you can start a tracker on your character by putting a token up like this, not the death one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let's hold on. There.
So the rest of you wake up with the rising sun, and Kelly and Agrim, you notice you weren't woken for your watch. The sun is up, and Daka is standing wearing a white ash painted mask out in the middle of the town.
Are you okay, Duggar?
Nice clothes.
I think Doggo doesn't even say anything. He's just sitting there with the mask on, but like his eyes behind the mask are like only half open.
Yeah, so his
Ears are kind
skin,
of shut.
he is light blue, and there are dark, like pure blackness under his eyes. He looks pale and tired.
I'm gonna go over to him and pick him up with a shoulder and sort of take him back to the camp.
Your princess carrying him?
No, like give him a shoulder to lean on, sort of
Okay,
thing. You know?
all right.
Yeah,
How
I
tall are
princess.
you?
Hush, baby, it's fine.
'Cause I don't think Doc is very tall. He's 5'6". That's pretty short.
Well, I can put my arm around you or whatever and help you walk. It's not impossible. We don't have to make this awkward, guys. Unless you want me to I'd pick you up soothingly, caressing you as I carry you back.
all out of love.
Don't give the Swiss more ideas than he needs. He already has.
Oh, that
I
reminds me.
take Gygax out of my backpack and put you into my backpack.
I was told I needed to issue a correction on the correction from last time that yaoi and bara are not specifically made by male and female authors. They are the audience intended for the work.
Who
Hey
gives
man,
a fuck?
I'm just people who write into the show. That's who gives a fuck.
Zonalar gives a fuck.
Again, who cares?
Don't stop
yeah.
on Zonalar. He writes glorious literature for you.
Glorious
I'll
literature.
take Ducker back to the camp, and I'm not even going to question what he did. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
A lot of drug, apparently.
Like people, I imagine that Kelly have seen people snap in war and just go nutters or whatever, and to him, coming across a village completely ruined by necromancers is yeah, I could see how people would get fucked up by that shit.
The only thing Doc is doing is muttering under his breath, new growth, new growth.
I'm gonna start washing that crap off of him or whatever, all that grave dirt and shit.
Okay.
Just giving him like a fucking drenching bath sort of thing, and just
He'll be fine after witnessing his second or third firebombing. It's okay. It'll
clean him up a little bit. Put a bowl of stew in front of him.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Yeah.
How many levels of exhaustion do you need before you just die instantly?
6.
Yeah, it's quite a few.
And what are you at right now?
2.
Okay.
My plan is to sleep on the fucking cart on the way, though.
Yeah,
You could plan.
I imagine. Yeah.
We'll get you some nice pillows.
Yeah, either that or just strap myself underneath the cart like I did before.
You know what? I tell people about that story. I'm just there was this one time where 2 guys split away from the party and then split themselves, and they had incredible rolls and they came away with the perfect plan. It was epic. It was fucking epic.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, so you guys are all traveling north to Bondaroct?
To Bondaroct.
Bondaroct. You will arrive just outside the gates at nightfall. Much as it took you 1 day to arrive here, if you go at maximum speed.
We're in no rush.
Okay.
Does that take 8 hours worth?
Yeah. So if you're not rushing, then 8 hours, you can rest on the trip easily when you're not rushing. And you'll get about 3/4 of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do that.
You have several small encounters on the road to Bondaroct, but it's mainly just wolves following you. At one point, there's a giant boar in the distance, but you're strong enough that these encounters are meaningless to you and are easily overcome. It's not even worth waking Doc up for.
Yeah.
He just wakes up and he's yawning, and then there's a big fucking
Boar ass in my
leg
face.
put in front of him. Cooked. Yeah.
Oh man, we need 9 more boar asses.
Why don't these boars have any spleens?
I'm trying to make a new pouch.
As night falls, you all are beginning to feel exhaustion again, except for Doc, who just woke up. And you can see the lights of Bondarok north in the distance.
I say we push on to the town, boys, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, just because we can see it, I mean, if this land is flat as hell,
it's a grassland. It's completely flat.
Okay, because I remember last time we made this trip, or I say last time, whatever the first, because there were watchtowers spread every like couple of miles, right?
Not down here. Not on the
here?
southern.
Oh, okay, I couldn't remember where that started, but
That's after this bridge.
Yes.
Mm. Oh,
Every 17 miles.
Gotcha. It's been a while.
I guess Doc is wide awake.
Yeah. You're
so-
gonna cover everybody's night watch.
I mean, that's the upside of being on separate sleep schedules now.
Yeah, night shifts.
I'll still wake up to do mine in the morning. That's no problem. I'll let the other dude sleep.
Okay. In the morning, you arrive at the gates of Bondarok. You arrive early enough that you catch the fishermen coming in with last night's fresh catch.
Ah, the guild.
Yeah, the Guild of Fishermen. One of the guards pulls you aside ahead of everybody else and is walking with all of you and says, "Oh, hey, I recognize you guys. You're the adventurer mercenaries that went out with Gleemo." Yeah,
God
look.
rest his soul.
Hey, where is Gleemo? My son was supposed to start that fungeon today. It opens tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be delayed.
Oh, well, I mean, is he back in Flemia?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Is it,
Listen, friend.
yeah?
What was that town called, Arthur?
It's called Flemia.
Was it?
Like the first one on the map.
Town that just got burned down. The first town you always go
Yeah.
to is called Flemia. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool, yeah. So Flemia was besieged by kobolds, and unfortunately, Gleemo didn't make it.
So he keeps walking with you for a few steps, and then he stops at this point, and his arms are starting to get a little sweaty, and he goes pale and like turns to look at you, and he's like, "Sorry, did you just say that kobolds burned Flemia
Yes.
and Gleemo is dead?"
Mm-hmm.
Rourke dispatched of all of them.
Okay.
And I've made sure that they won't bother anyone again.
I'm just gonna wave you guys through. So he lets you go in, and some of the
I'm doing,
fishermen.
like, the eyes half open, like anime deadpan at him.
So I just need you to make a deception check, because what you've said in some ways is true, but in other ways is complete fabrication.
This guy is just like, this sounds like a lot of paperwork, and I do not have enough ink for my pen. I ain't dealing with this.
I like the part where Rourke is suddenly the hero of the story.
Well, I don't.
It's a lot.
wanna,
It's a lot easier than saying he turned into a necromantic.
Yeah,
monster.
I know. The truth would hurt.
Plus, it would probably be a pain in the ass for us to have to stick around and answer a bunch of questions we really don't have time for.
Deception.
Deception. You'll get advantage because everyone has helped build your story.
Fuck.
Oh, I mean, we helped a
I'm
lot. though.
real tired for this.
But we helped build his story by telling the truth. I want to point out, Arthur. So.
I'm aware.
Damn, I've fucking-
You have advantage and disadvantage. It cancels out, so you have a 7.
Yeah.
so-
Actually, I don't have proficiency on this. It's just a charisma skill, which is my best stat, and I fucking rolled terribly.
I know. Yeah, he waves you through, and then announces to everybody else that the gates are closing, and that a patrol is being dispatched to Flemia to investigate.
You'll see what we just told you. We're not joking.
By the time they get there, it's just like saplings everywhere.
So the guard is just like, I'm real sorry. It's not that I believe or don't believe you. It's just what you're saying is unbelievable. We're
Yeah,
gonna
it
have
makes
to
no damn
investigate.
sense, I know.
So
I was like smoking that offer it to him.
I mean, look
Yeah,
at
think about how we feel. We were there.
I Let me double check on everybody's passive perception real quick. I thought I had them written down, but let's just double.
Oh, you know what I'll say to him, Arthur? It's like, if you're going back, and you would like to know where we buried Glimo, so that he can be remembered as the hero that he was, it's over at blah 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 blah.
Right. I'll keep that in mind. I won't be going personally, but I'll pass it along.
Blah 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 blah. It's quite nice this time of year.
Not anymore. It isn't. Give it about 2 weeks. Let the fertilizer really kick in.
Nature takes back over.
Does anyone have a passive perception of 14 or higher?
I have a 15 passive perception.
I have a 15 as well. So
wow, what the shit?
15 brothers.
Oh my God.
We did our all of our stat adjustments and stuff since we've last used all that crap.
Okay, so the two of you watch as the guard speaks to someone that's in the street nearby, kind of a scraggly figure. They've got on common peasantry clothes, but they've also got like a kind of charcoal gray cloak thrown over them. Their face is a little dirty. They definitely seem like a criminal. That person then begins following you through the streets of Onderacht.
Let's do that thing where we go into an alleyway, but we're actually making an ambush for him.
Is that what you guys want to do?
Sure.
Good to me.
All right.
Okay.
Let's make a group stealth check. Half of you will need to succeed.
Am I still disadvantaged from?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
14 is still
we're
good. 14, 14, 23. 26.
Death.
So the four of you,
The horse and wagon are on the roof of the building.
the four of you briefly speak to each other without causing any consternation. You pick up speed.
Yeah, I say something like, "Yeah, the turnips are real good at this time of year, right, boys?"
Turn up for what?
And the
That's
carrot.
our secret. You remember we had a code phrase about turnips being danger.
I have no recollection.
Was
Wow.
that with the Belial guy?
I do remember we did make a like secret
That's
signal.
I
kind
do
of
not
thing.
recall this.
I didn't remember that it was turnips, but I remember we made a secret word or something.
Because we're talking about how big
It's all right.
It's good.
You move along.
How do I remember this?
At an intersection crossing, you pick the cart's speed up. As another cart T passes it, and the contact that's behind you has to slow down for a moment. You go around a corner and prepare an ambush. He walks down and like turns in the alley and is totally surprised to see all four of you there standing on the back of the cart, completely prepared to meet with him. He's just like, "Oh, sorry, wrong turn," and turns to the right and makes like he's still going in a straight line.
Grapple check, Arthur.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Oh Jesus.
Can I just make athletics?
No, you have to hit him first, and then you make the opposed strength.
All right. Okay. So
I think, right? Let's double.
No, I always thought it was like it's opposed.
It was I know
It's opposed strength.
Grappler. Yeah, that's who. Okay, grappling. You can use a attack action to make a special melee attack grapple. The target or grapple, blah, 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 blah. You make a strength athletics versus the target strength athletics. Okay, let's do it.
That's how
You go out and go to give him a bear hug. This guy is not super huge. You know, he's probably about like 5'8", kind of scraggly, but he is hopped up on adrenaline. You go to touch him and he's just like, "Oh, get your hands off me, filthy half-breed!" And then just starts picking up speed, power jogging away from you.
Crackhead wobble, but he don't fall down.
What do you want to do?
Do we get an action?
Yeah, I'm asking you what you want to do.
I give chase, man.
I'm throwing a hunter's mark on this bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's hunter's marked. Finley, what are you doing?
I'm pulling out my bow.
Okay. All right. So, APGam?
Complaining about having short legs and then running after them.
Send a swearing arrow after him.
Okay.
The arrow misses. The next thing, he just crossbow goes flying by his head.
It's got two sounds. It's got the flying through the air sound, and then the hit something sounds like "fuck shit."
I just want to be clear. You guys are chasing this guy in broad daylight in the morning in one of the busiest times down, like openly through a street. There are,
I'm going back ways because I've got a 100 mark on him.
yes. Well, yeah, you can track him pretty easily, but the rest of them appear to be tracking him in a kind of stalking criminalish way.
Well, I mean, he looks like a shady bastard, right? I mean,
You know, as I'm
you
running,
described him as a criminal-looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
I'm
somebody
just,
shout thief. And
I'm
then-
just. Is
that's
that what
what
you're
I was
doing? Are
gonna
you
do.
shouting thief?
Yeah, I'm totally gonna do that. I'm just like, grab that man. He stole my he stole my purse.
All right, you chase after him. I'm gonna want a strength check from the 3 people chasing to see if you can keep up with and then capture him.
Can I use athletics?
It's strength athletics, yes.
If it fails, I'll just shoot him in the legs. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's what I needed to roll before.
Hmm.
Oof.
Agram and Finley, I also need rolls from you. Yep, there we go.
Oh,
7 is good enough.
Agram's just like, all that smoking.
Yeah, all 3 of you round about this guy.
Have you ever seen the Office linebacker commercial?
Yes.
That's what Kelly does to this
Can't
guy.
tackle this dude. Just like,
Yeah, dude.
The 3 of you get him surrounded and captured without too much fuss from people. They seem to be buying this. He's a thief. He stole your purse thing. Daka, you managed to parallel the party down a side street, but
Am I
at some
still
point,
half speed though. I only have 1 level of exhaustion now.
no, you're not at half speed. The problem is that the streets here are not laid out like we would in a modern street. There's lots of twists and turns. You end up in front of the party at some point, like a whole block ahead of them. There are guards nearby who are milling about. Some of them are just like, oh, well then, should we go check out that ruckus then? And the other guys are just like, after the game, it'll be fine.
Burst out of like a clothing store, like if there's like a rack of rags or whatever, I'll just like burst out and be like, officers.
You can see that the one guy's stuck throwing dice, right? And the rest of them all leap to their feet, and then that guy's like, oh shit! And then like grabs his spear and then leaps to his feet, and then just like, do you have a crime to report, citizen?
Yeah. The some point at the
Right, well, we're all on duty, so let's go, man. And then all 3 of them like hup 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 hup.
Totally not playing
You
dice.
can see a
in the middle
couple of them
our
like brushing the front of their uniform off of crumbs and such.
Is there any money on the table that they're leaving?
Yeah, they're leaving a couple coppers.
Swiping it.
5 coppers. Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
They're walking away.
Yeah,
Advantage.
but they're not the only. You're literally stealing right in front of a police station on a public street. I'm not gonna penalize. Well, I am gonna penalize you. You're rolling a disadvantage. You know what? The best part about this is that you're still rolling a disadvantage. That 21 would have been great.
Oh,
And
What
is it
I
not
was gonna
canceled
say
out
is
by
I was gonna
being
give
like,
you-
Hey, go that way.
I was gonna give you advantage
Look, a
on the
flock of
roll.
turtles steal your money.
Flock of turtles.
You do swipe them with a 21
Fuck yeah.
because I'm giving you advantage on the roll because
Thank
of the
you.
situation you set up.
Yeah, thank you.
You swish the coins with a quick hand gesture. They'll never know where they went. Kelly, Agram, Finley, the 3 of you notice that there are 3 guardsmen who are moving towards you. Spears, leather armor. They'll be up on you in 20 or 30 seconds. This guy doesn't seem worried by their approach. He actually seems to be gesturing to them. Like, come on then.
yeah, this guy right here. Come get him.
I like grab him by the chest and I pull him in. I'm like, speak quickly or I'll shiv you.
What are you
Why
doing
are you following
there?
us?
The guard sergeant told me to follow you.
Why?
Because he doesn't trust you.
Why?
You better pull that shiv away from me, or I'm going to tell the guards. They're going to be here in a few seconds, and they know me.
I like release him.
All right. So he's hard staring you. He thinks he's in command in this situation. He thinks he just did you a favor.
For my superior height and muscle.
Yeah, I mean, he's sure that he's in the right here. And
Like
he's
the
just
Terry
like,
Crews
what do you want me to tell them
I
about?
was literally thinking that.
So the guards show up. He doesn't know what to tell the guards. And the guards are just like, Oleg, what's going on here, boy? Why we hear shouts about thieving and such? You're not back to your old ways, are you? And he's just like, oh, no. It was a misunderstanding that these fine gentlemen had. Isn't that right, friends? He looks so confused.
Yeah, I just sort of grunt and like,
I grunt, but it's like,
Daka
Okay.
comes up panting. He's like, there he is.
Okay,
He
right.
followed us from the gate all the way here.
Well, I'm sure it was a mistake. The man...
Turned
Well,
down the same alleyway we turned down.
if you'll keep it privately, the man works for the guards, so I'm sure it was just some sort of misunderstanding.
Oh. Maybe be more forward next time so we won't mistake you for a common thief.
I thought it was just a racial thing.
That too.
you did call me a half-breed.
So, like, the guard sergeant that's here is just like, well, are you half-orc or are you full-orc?
It was the
not-
tone that implied his intent.
He really said it like a dick.
Goddamn adventurers bringing their liberal values down here. Fuck
Be
out of
like,
here.
if I called you a pig, are you not a cop?
Did you say that?
Yes.
Oh my god. He's just like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Exactly. Hurts, doesn't it?
Why don't the four of you move along?
Gladly.
Oh, like, come with us.
I love the new Daka, man. He just doesn't give a single fuck. It's great.
He's very tired and he's very high.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
the three guardsmen and Oleg are just like watching the three of you leave with death stares.
Humans.
Fucking humans.
Humans.
So as you begin to wander around Bondarok, there is, news of what's happened around the area being passed around. The news that Flemia has been burnt and everyone's dead hasn't gotten around, but you do hear shouts and conversation between people. The big topic of conversation is that tomorrow Gleemo's Fun Gym will be opening. Previously it had been having funding problems, but a number of nobles have chipped in together to all send their children to the Fun Gym, and as a result, a number of high-ranking police officers are also sending their children to the Fun Gym.
To get killed by whatever the fuck is in there.
Yeah, they were goblins or something, right?
Can I pretend to be Gleemo?
Well, you are about 2/5 of his height.
Yeah, but he's a powerful sorcerer.
So you
and
could
he-
find 1.5 other halflings as just about Glimo as you.
Well, he's a
right.
wizard, not a
a-
sorcerer.
He's a wizard that shapeshifts, is what I'll tell people.
Sure.
No,
If you want to pretend to be Gleemo, hit me with your spiel and sell me on it, and we'll talk about how difficult it's going to be on a roll.
Well, so here's my thing. I don't want all the kids going in there and dying.
That's a good call.
I also don't want them to be sad that Gleemo was dead.
Yeah. You've also told the guards that Gleemo is dead already, so
And where to find his corpse.
yeah. So if you impersonate Gleemo, you're going to have legal troubles down the line.
Okay, instead of pretending to be actual Gleemo, it'll be like going to Disney World, like I know that I'm not talking to the actual Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I'm
No,
Miglo,
that is the real
Glimmo's
Mickey
brother.
Mouse when you go to Disney World. It's the same mouse every single time.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I want these kids to experience.
Kids watch this show. Don't fucking ruin it for them.
He's also a DJ.
Kids watch this show. Man, I got some questions about
DJ Gleemo.
the parenting practices.
All right. So what's your overall plan? Whether or not you impersonate Gleemo or not, although it sounds like you are going to attempt
Do
to
we want
impersonate.
these kids to just go into this dungeon and die? I mean, if we protect the kids of like these lords,
Well, Glimmer's not there. I don't think the dungeon will open without him.
but isn't it just like a hole? Like it's just a door that you go into. He didn't even have to open it for us. I thought.
With a couple of dead interns inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if we somehow protect these kids, or maybe just stop the kids from going, maybe I don't have to impersonate Glimo, but if we convince them not to send their kids, there'll be something in it for us.
Can we? There was a hole around the back of the wall, right? Could we get out the gate and see if that's there?
So
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't on the wall. It was on the plains outside. There was a tree stump.
Yeah, it was like a back.
That was like
exit.
a well. That was the back entrance.
Yeah.
And that was what the goblins were using to come into the area.
Can we see if that's still there?
You want to go out the western gate and go find it?
Yeah.
If you guys are into it.
Sure. I mean,
Because Doc is gonna stay awake. He's gonna like do that jet lag trick where like you stay awake for as long as you can.
Yeah,
and then
until you
sleep.
catch up, and then you sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're back on the normal schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, that jet lag trick never works, but it's good.
no, it
Good to try.
actually does work.
I've never had it
totally
work.
does work.
Apparently, another thing you can do for jet lag is like, as soon as you can, like go find some grass or something and like walk around in nature to get your body like, oh, this is.
Yeah, make fists with your toes, you know?
Oh my! I was just gonna say that. Take off your shoes, make fists with your toes.
You know, zigzag down the floor, shuffle and diagonal.
And then pick up some dog shit with your toe and then kick it at the nearest children.
I got it. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Okay, you all travel outside the western gate to that place that you saw. There is currently 5 ropes that have been tied to the stump in a way that would be difficult to see if you weren't looking through the center of the stump and looking down. There are very clear indications all around the stump that people have been walking here, that people have been moving through this area. When you look down into the bottom of the Fungin, it definitely seems like the area has been disturbed recently. There's grass down there. There's some leaves. There is footprints of mud.
People footprints or other footprints?
They appear to be halfling sized, or goblin sized, as it were.
Could I maybe try, because goblins are one of my favorite enemies,
Mm-hmm.
to see if I can discern what type of tracks they are exactly?
Absolutely. Make a survival check.
And then I believe I get advantage on it because of
I like what Chad has to say. This is like the evolution of beards. When we're back in regular form, we actually do have kind of like a U shape of beard things.
That's right.
let's see, I get 19.
Yeah, you determined that recently there were probably about 40 to 50 goblins that came through this area, and on top of that, there were at least 5 to 10 hobgoblins, and one of them very specifically is a enormous super hobgoblin called a captain.
Oh, wonderful.
So it's like a hobgoblin. So hobgoblins, of course, are like twice the size of regular goblins, and captains are like half again as tall.
They're closer to bugbears, really, aren't they?
Yeah, they weigh a lot. I mean, they weigh like 400 or 500 pounds.
Yeah, they thick. You know, I'll pass on a bit. Like pick up some of the soil and get a like, ugh, ugh. No, definitely goblin's been this way.
Well, we should clear it out before a whole bunch of kids go in the meat grinder.
All right.
It's probably the best idea.
I wonder if they'll wait till tomorrow, though.
Are you sleepy?
Just no words, just nodding.
So what's the plan? Yeah. Hobgoblin captains are absolute units. They're super jacked.
Yeah.
Well, let's go down.
Yeah.
What's the fighting penalty with exhaustion?
None. There's no penalty when you're exhausted.
Oh,
It's only skill checks, so
It doesn't it doesn't kick in until I mean level 2 is half speed, and like level 3 you lose half your maximum hit points permanently until you lose that exhaustion.
Jesus. Okay.
First level exhaustion does not affect you in combat.
Good.
Well, unless you get grappled, because then you
Yeah.
have half defense. You have disadvantage defense. But other than that, you should be good. You climb down the ropes. As you go down, they are clearly not set to handle the weight of all of you, except for, of course, Finley. Kelly, you specifically have to take one rope that is pretty good, but even then, under the weight of your plate and your own body weight, you can see the thing is like creaking. You get down to the ground and you clear the Fungin with some tactical sweeps, and you just wind up above ground again on the western gate. At the Fungin entrance, there don't appear to be any goblins inside the Fungin. You do find the 2 dead entrants. They have been eaten.
Mm.
Okay. Well, we'll clear them out, I guess.
Yeah, well, and then last time I think we alerted the guards that we had come across that entrance or whatever. We could just say we found tracks, because we did, and then tell them we want to seal that up or something.
So you're going to the Western Gates guardhouse?
Yeah, if we see a patrol on the street or something like that, we can just grab somebody.
Yeah, there are a patrol of 9 guys that are heading around. One of them is carrying a great spear, like a boar hook spear with one of those crossbars, and the rest of them look kind of uncomfortable. Maybe they're new. You walk up to them and you start reporting. They look at you oddly, and then the captain just goes, "Yeah, we'll take care of that. Looking for, did you say goblins down there in the Fungin?"
Well, we found tracks outside the wall and followed them down this hole with a bunch of ropes in it, and then ended up just over there by the wall. So
Yeah, is this a marketing thing?
No, there's 2 dead people down there.
Okay, we'll check it out as soon as we're done our sweep.
I just sort of like cross my arms a little bit and sort of look at him, and it's like, 2 human corpses are rotting down there from goblin attacks, and you want to finish your route?
So you can see that all of the guards are tightening their grip on their spears, and they look pretty upset. The leader steps in front of the rest and is like, "Yeah, we're gonna finish our route, and then we'll check out what you've just said. If they're dead, they're not gonna get any less dead in about 3 minutes."
Well, yeah, but there's a bunch of lords and ladies that are going to be sending their kids down there. You don't want to be
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
We'll be there in 3 minutes. Move along, citizens.
So impatient.
So he turns and moves to go away, and the rest of the guards kind of stare at all of you awkwardly, and then he turns around and just like mutters something, and the rest of them start shuffling after him.
Can I thaumaturge really loudly what he muttered?
Yes, absolutely. Agrim, he's muttering in Goblin to the rest of them in battle language.
Oh, great.
He muttered, "Move along."
Huh. That's weird.
Goblin?
Yeah, I think they speak Orcish, but
They're human, yeah?
They do appear to be human, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are they speaking Goblin?
Is there... That's weird. That's very strange.
Working for the goblins.
But why would they speak Goblin then?
Well, they would speak. I think it's Orcish. Is what goblins speak.
No,
I think.
goblins have their own language. It's goblin.
Do they?
Yep.
Okay, that's interesting. I just sort of look at the group and I was like, well, we can stay here and get caught up in the Orc War, or what?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It was like that's sabotage was the first thing that came to mind.
You'll let the thieves know. Guaranteed they don't have any love for the guards, and they didn't have any love for Gleemo last time we checked.
That is true.
That's right.
Well,
they wanted
what I'm
them.
saying is our path might close if we don't continue on our way.
Is our path not already closed?
I don't
Or
think so.
too many days away. We only got through right as it happened, right? Any delays would have.
Yeah, you guys are 2 days behind your normal schedule.
I think best bet. Join up with that the people that were trying to recruit us from Magnar.
Okay. Then I think we should best make our haste before that Orc army comes down then, yeah?
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, we should get a move on.
Timeline-wise, the Orc army should be arriving very shortly.
Well, they're going to be looking for more recruits very quickly then, aren't they?
Are you leaving the city immediately then?
I think so. We have everything that we need, right? Was there a mage place in this place? Like a...
So the Count himself is a retired bard, and Gleemo has his own little wizarding collective.
Alright, the Count. What? I can't remember what we were doing with him last time.
We sold him the orb and shit like that.
Yeah, you sold him several scrolls that you didn't identify, and he rewarded you with your plate mail and some money.
Oh, right, and then we got like the seal from him to go to Magnar to do all that.
Indeed, which you still have now in this timeline.
Cool. I think we can go then. Unless there's like a potion shop in town, because didn't we use potions?
Yeah, no, there was, because there's a guy that was the guy that was required to tell us he was used to be an assassin by law, and he wouldn't sell his shit because we weren't guild members.
Yeah, but there is a open general shop, so you could buy poisons from him if you had a license. But there is a general shop on the north end of Freehold.
So there's a couple of things that I think we might want to get. The first is holy water. Like vials of holy water.
Can you not make that?
Probably not.
Yeah, you can make it.
I don't know. I can make it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It costs you
That's
12 and a
right.
half
So-
gold pieces, I believe. Let me double check.
To make like a liter of it or something, right? I can't remember. Like,
So you can make one vial. You can make one flask of holy water for 12 and a half gold pieces. It requires a 1 hour ceremony.
That's probably cheaper
make
than
a
to get
single
it at the
flask.
shop.
If you buy it at the shop, it's
Yeah.
25 gold pieces.
We are loaded though.
Well, the other thing that
Yeah.
I'm really trying to find some sort of like, I hate to say it like this, but like there's going to be a time when we do a timeline where we won't be able to go to Bondura, right? Like that's before, like to get armor for myself, right? So anything magical that can help with AC is going to be like very imperative to get at some point. So I'm still on the lookout for that shit. But
We could get another animated shield.
Yeah.
we could, yeah.
We'd have to fight through our way though.
Well, an animated shield doesn't do anything for me because I keep a shield out, so I can't have
Well,
two shields.
it's like an action to activate it for an extra 2 AC.
Yeah,
right?
but what an animated shield does, it means that you can have a shield but not equip a shield on your arm.
Oh, it just gives you like I thought it gave you like an
Yeah.
extra hand so you could have a shield.
So,
and a weapon.
The shield is physically equipped to you, but when you animate it, it dances between you and your target. But after a minute, it returns to your hand.
Okay. I thought it was
So
like an
it's-
extra hand. But...
No, there's no point in me having it. It works well for Agrim because he uses a crossbow. So
Mm-hmm.
So let me sell you guys on this. We're right around break time. Maybe let's take a 8-minute break, and when we come back, you'll head to the Prancing Unicorns Oils and Elixirs, unless you want to negotiate with Arthur the Innkeeper for his private stock.
I mean,
You've been to the Prancing Unicorn before. It's the last store north out of Flemia. Or sorry, it's the last store north out of Conrad.
He gave us like a passcode last time we were here too.
I actually wrote that down.
Shit, that's right.
At the Crossblades, Arthur? Yeah. So think about the kind of stuff you're going to want to buy there, and we'll be back in 8 minutes, guys. Stick around for the second half. Swish.